This is the Ohio AgNet from the Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF and Zatavo soybeans, transforming the approach to soybean seed decision-making with trailblazing innovation and quality without compromise. I'm Ty Higgins. Ohio Corn and Wheat among the agricultural organizations calling for greater competition and transparency in the fertilizer market. The Federal Trade Commission has now taken an interest in those concerns, asking farmers, retailers, and others in the fertilizer supply chain to provide information that could help with its investigation. Scott Hare farms in Clark County. He's also a board member with Ohio Corn and Wheat. I asked him what high fertilizer prices are doing to the economics of his operation right now.
It's ugly is what it is. We went through pandemic inflation. Everything inflated, labor, insurance, land, machinery, and a lot of things came back down, but fertilizer stayed up. As we look at the budget and the percent of fertilizer occupies in the budget, it has grown significantly over the last 3 or 4 years, and we haven't had a reset. When commodity prices came down, a lot of times usually input costs come down with them, but with especially phosphate fertilizer, potash elevated and didn't come down, but didn't quite to the extreme of phosphorus, which is, the highly concentrated mosaic in the industry. Also, we look at our nitrogen fertilizer budget. If we go back several years ago, nitrogen fertilizer always used to follow the price of natural gas. It's derived from natural gas. We make ammonia from there. We make our competitive products into nitrogen, but it's something disconnected anymore. And it's like, it seems awful fishy when the underlying costs of producing a product no longer affects the price of the product.
So when it's all said and done, what do you hope comes out of this FTC investigation, Scott?
Competition is what we need. We need competition. We need the market to be able to work efficiently. And we also need to take a look at our regulatory environment in the United States and how much extra burden we're placing on these mines. That's going to play into effect too. We went down from, like you say, 20 to maybe 2, and that didn't happen just because somebody wanted to be the biggest. It happened because maybe some overregulation. So we need to take a look at both sides of the deal. Take a look at their cost structure also, and then bring in the competition. If the world has cheaper fertilizer, let us buy it.
You can read all about Ohio corn growers pushing for answers on fertilizer prices online now at ohioagnet.com. Let's get a check of the weather now, brought to you by Seed Genetics Direct, the #1 fastest growing and largest Ohio-based independent seed company. Here's Ryan Martin.
We are sunny and dry, I think, through the rest of the week, the weekend, and early next week. Right now, I don't have any significant moisture coming back into Ohio until next Wednesday, and then we see on again, off again scattered showers for Thursday, Friday, and into the Labor Day holiday weekend as well. Overall, it's a warm air versus cold air battle. Warm air is definitely building to our south and southwest. I'm Ryan Martin.
Ryan, thank you. The debate over who gets final say on data center development in Ohio is now before the Ohio Supreme Court. The case centers on a proposed data center project in Asheville in Pickaway County. The project would include 2 data centers and an 800-megawatt natural gas power plant on about 200 acres. The developer, Edge Connects, reached an agreement with village officials that included a $115 million investment for Asheville, Harrison Township, and Tays Valley local schools. The money could help address long-standing water issues and sewer infrastructure needs. Village officials approved the agreement as emergency legislation. Under Ohio law, that designation generally prevents legislation from being overturned through a public referendum. But Asheville residents are challenging that decision, arguing that they should have the opportunity to vote on the project. The case raises broader questions about whether local governments can use emergency legislation to fast-track major private developments without giving voters a chance to weigh in. The Ohio Supreme Court's being asked to determine whether the referendum petitions were properly rejected and whether the agreement should be considered legislative or administrative. The decision could have implications well beyond Asheville, as at least 200 other potential data center sites are being considered across Ohio. You can read the full story online now at ohioagnet.com. We'll check the markets and get some analysis next as the Ohio AgNet continues.
What's better than getting the trusted farm news you count on from Ohio's Country Journal? Having a chance to win a brand new Arctic Ultra Tough cooler. The Ohio's Country Journal sweepstakes are back. Subscribe or renew your subscription today, and you'll be entered for a chance to win one of 2 45-quart Arctic Ultra Tough coolers. Just visit ocj.com/renew for official rules and to complete your subscription or renewal for your chance to win. Ohio's Country Journal, your source for Ohio farm news.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins, and today's market analysis is brought to you by Louis Dreyfus Company in Upper Sandusky. Opening to receive soybeans starting September 1st. Ohio farmers, get your RFID tag this week from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And to find out more, call 419-731-7100. Corn futures charged higher at midweek with the December contract higher in 6 straight sessions, as well as in 8 of the past 10 after Wednesday's trade. That streak may end today, though. The soybean market raced to new 2026 highs yesterday, while the November board set the highest price for most active futures since early January of 2024. They might have trouble staying positive today as well. Markets on the Ohio AgNet brought to you by FS Envision and High Soy, seed made for this ground. Find out more at fsseed.com/Ohio. Corn for September 507 3/4, down 6 1/4. December off 5 3/4, trading at 530 3/4. September beans 1251 3/4, down 2 1/2. November 3 cents lower at 1263. Wheat for September, 735 3/4, up by 5 1/4. Live cattle higher by 190 to 270. Lean hogs mixed, up or down by a dime. I'm Ty Higgins for the Ohio AgNet.